Hi, this is MG Siegel with TechCrunch. I'm here with Josh Williams, the founder and CEO of Gowalla. Hey Josh, how's it going?
How's it going?
Good. Gowalla 2.0 just launched today in the App Store. You want to give us a little overview of it?
Yeah, so the brief overview of 2.0 is we've kind of refreshed the design to be more in line with kind of the lighter color theme that we've got running on the website and Android and Palm devices now. And in addition to that, we released kind of, I would say, like 3 really great new features going into South by. One of the big ones is photos, so now you can check in and post a photograph to the place that you're at. Maybe I'll actually do this real quick, because this could be kind of fun.
Sure.
We'll see if AT&T plays friendly here. But the idea is that you check in, and basically when the photo gets posted, it... I'm running the beta, so good times. It not only goes in My Passport, but it goes up on like the wall of the place that you're at, and so people who follow you and come after you are actually able to like flip through the photographs of the location to see what's going on at that place. And that one here is killing me. So we're gonna edit this later.
All right.
Good
Yeah.
times.
Speaking of the network, that's a little fun point. How do you think AT&T is going to do with this at in Austin?
I've been
at South by?
watching, like they've been setting up like their towers around Austin right now, so we've been seeing like the mobile things go up, and they definitely seem to be making progress on that. So hopefully it's better than last year. Even that, like better than last year, like a big relative scale, and so we'll see what happens. So we're at the St. Francis now. I've got this. We're going to check in. So now after you've checked in, we've got the opportunity to tap the photo button, and this is going to load up. Now looking back at you, this is very meta in and of itself. I use this one, and basically we've got this idea like we're treating check-ins more like buckets now. And so after you check in, there's like all this data that could potentially be poured into that. So I might check in at a place, you might comment on that check-in, I might comment and reply and post a photo. And so there's like this kind of stream of data that goes back and forth. So now I'm going to pull up, these are the photos related to the Westin St. Francis. And there's only one here because it just came out. And hopefully you're going to be here. Yeah, there you are.
Great.
So,
nice.
So hopefully, come tomorrow, there'll be more photos here at the St. Francis, and you can just kind of go through, almost like a memory book of the place that you're at.
And so you guys also added comments to
Yeah, so one of the frustrating things about Gowalla previously is that if you checked in somewhere, or I had a friend check in and wanted to send them basically a comment about that, and say, hey, you should try, the shrimp at the place that you're at. The only way to do that was to go out channel, either through text message or email, Twitter or Facebook. And so we brought that in channel now. So now from within Gowalla, I can just go find that event and comment on it, and it posts back to that. You'll get a push that said, "Hey, Josh, said you should try the shrimp." And again, that dialogue can kind of take place in app, and you can also comment via the website as well on a friend's check-ins. So that gives you another opportunity to kind of interact without going out channel.
Nice. Why don't you talk a little bit about what you guys are doing specifically for South by coming up on Friday?
So we basically partner with a handful of people. One of the big ones, of course, is just South by Southwest in general. So we've got, at any given time, you'll be able to log into Gowalla and see a list of all the events that are happening at that moment, whether it's keynotes or panels or parties in the evening, and then where they're at. So again, you'll be able to check in at those events, post photos that are saved for perpetuity for South by, and it's going to be a pretty cool way to kind of see the conference through that light. Of course, there's a lot of pins that can be rewarded for completing certain tasks related to South by Southwest. Now, on top of that, we've got a handful of new items like virtual goods that we've inserted into the system that are actually redeemable for real-world goods. So we're working with our friends, One Taco, who are a local Austin taco truck, and every day there's going to be like over 100 tacos scattered around the convention center. If you find one of these, you can actually go to the One Taco truck, which will be nearby,
nice.
And redeem it for basically a taco and a drink for lunch. And so we're pretty stoked about that. Folks who check in at ABIA on Friday at the airport arriving, there's the off chance that you'll actually be rewarded a ride to the hotel of your choice in one of Chevy's new vehicles. So
oh, yeah, that's great.
Shuttle service based on people checking in there. Lomography is giving away some cameras via the app. Let's see. Oh, there's a handful of fun things. We'll actually be putting up a site at gowalla.com/SXSW that kind of details everything that's going on.
So another one of the partnerships is you're kind of working with Facebook on doing this real world / virtual good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of interesting. You know, this morning we ran the story about Facebook might be looking at kind of federating your guys' check-ins, Foursquare's check-ins, and in their eventual location solution, which may be launched, at F8. Overall thoughts, like on what Facebook bringing, to the table, what them getting into the game could mean.
I think it wasn't a matter of but more when Facebook decided to get into the location space, and obviously they have the scale and resources to build a pretty solid foundation for that sort of data, and they've got a great, more or less accurate, social graph of people that you might be interested in sharing that data with. And so for us, we look at it as just a way to say, how can Gowalla be a very easy to use, interesting, front end that ultimately allows you to share your favorite places with your friends, regardless of whether they're on Facebook or Twitter or anything else that might come along. And so I think it's going to be exciting. Still, obviously I don't know what the product's going to be like, but in general, I would say we have positive feelings about it.
And what about overall, like the competition in the market? Do you think it's really helping you guys because all boats are kind of rising with you guys and Foursquare kind of getting a lot of adoption?
I think so. I mean, in the end, everybody, I think kind of loves the story of the hype going into an event like South by Southwest, and people are excited to see what interesting, things people are going to do to pull off the stops. And South by is a unique, dog it as much as you want for having jumped the shark. It's a really unique opportunity to get a bunch of connected people in a place with really great venues, really great locations, to experiment with something like this. And for us, it's exciting to try things out, and if AT&T behaves, we'll have a fun story to tell when it's all said and done. So the noise factor has been remarkable, and I think it is kind of amazing to see how much perceived hype there is in this space. And for our part, I hope that we live up to it.
And one final thing, do you mind talking a little bit about potential revenue streams and what you guys are working on in terms of business plans? Because that seems to be a lot of the talk in the industry right now.
Yeah, so I think what even with like the items that we're giving away at South by, we're trying to find what's the right overlap between real people in real places. And so not just doing biz dev deals that are out there for the sake of making money, but truly finding stuff that is appropriate in terms of the brands involved, and also things that are going to be meaningful to a person based on the place that they're actually at. So again, if it's unlocking a free lunch outside the convention center, again that's kind of an appropriate thing that people actually redeem and make use of. And those are the sorts of things that we're looking into at this point, as opposed to just like random location-based ads that pop up and say surprise. I feel like there needs to be more meaning and more context, and that's what people are going to feel like they're willing to interact with the brands involved, and not necessarily feel like they're being sold or advertised to.
And so most of your guys' usage is still, I assume, through the iPhone app, because you just released a new Android app officially, finally,
Yes.
and the new Palm Pre, the WebOS app.
Correct. Yeah. So most of the use is definitely through iPhone. Ask again in a few weeks, and we'll see how things are checking out.
All right. Cool, Josh. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, sir.